just said goodbye to my parents and am waiting for the Uber I called. The night is cold, and the icy wind makes me shrink further into my coat. I see the car's headlights approaching and take a deep breath, anxious to get home and crawl under the covers. Mike, the driver, seems friendly at first glance, with his easy smile and laid-back manner. He must be in his 40s, maybe a bit older, with short hair and a well-trimmed beard. "Good evening," I say as I get into the car, trying to ignore the slight discomfort I feel. "Good evening," he replies, "had a good day." The first questions are normal, standard courtesy from any Uber driver trying to break the ice. But something about the way he looks in the rearview mirror, his eyes lingering on me a bit longer than necessary, starts to make me uneasy. "Have you lived here long?" he asks. I answer automatically, without much thought. "Yes, a few years now." "Do you live alone?" he asks, and a wave of discomfort washes over me. I try not to show it, but my brain is already on high alert. Why does he need to know that? "I live with a friend," I lie, hoping to divert his curiosity. But the questions continue. "And your boyfriend? Is he waiting for you at home?" The discomfort morphs into a pang of panic. I try to stay calm, forcing a tense smile. "No, he's traveling," I lie again, trying to push away any thoughts he might have about finding me alone at home. As the ride progresses, I realize we're straying from the usual route. I look at the map on my phone and see that we're taking a completely different path. "Hey, I think you missed the exit," I say, trying to sound casual, but my voice shakes a bit. Mike laughs, but the sound is empty, devoid of humor. "Just a shortcut," he replies. My heart races. Nothing feels right. I try to open the window to get some fresh air and clear my mind, but the control is locked. I look around, trying to memorize every detail of the car, every movement Mike makes. My phone has no signal. Of course, it had to be now. The silence inside the car is deafening, broken only by the sound of the engine and my increasingly rapid breathing. "Where are you taking me?" My voice comes out weaker than I intended. I try not to appear scared, but my whole body is tense. Mike looks in the rearview mirror, a menacing gleam in his eyes. "You'll see." "Don't worry," he says with a smile that makes my skin crawl. Every word he utters feels like a death sentence. I try to think of a way out, my mind racing through all the possibilities. Jumping out of a moving car. What if I get hurt? But maybe that's better than whatever Mike has planned. With each passing mile, the sense of danger grows. The area around us becomes more deserted, with abandoned buildings and dead-end streets. My heart is pounding so fast I feel like I might faint. I have to stay calm, I have to think of a way to escape. I'm alone, without a signal on my phone, with a man who clearly has bad intentions. I try not to panic, but the reality of my situation is becoming impossible to ignore. My phone has no signal. Damn it. The silence in the car is deafening, broken only by the sound of the engine and my accelerated breathing. I try to think rationally, but with every passing second, my fear increases. The streets around us are becoming more deserted, with abandoned buildings and no lights. My heart is beating so fast it feels like it will explode. I need to stay calm, but how? "Where are you taking me?" My voice is weaker than I want, but I manage to maintain an apparent composure. Mike looks in the rearview mirror, and the gleam in his eyes makes me shiver. "You'll see." "Don't worry," he says with a disturbing smile. That smile. I can't stop thinking about the horrible possibilities that smile implies. I try to open the window, but it's locked. My stomach is churning. I need to think of an escape. Jump out of the moving car. I could get seriously hurt, but maybe it's better than whatever Mike is planning. I try to take a deep breath, but the air feels like it's not reaching my lungs. You know, Mike begins, his voice now more threatening. It's not safe to be around here alone. Many bad things can happen. He's toying with me. He knows I'm scared, and he's enjoying it. I feel bile rising in my throat, but I force myself to stay calm. I look out the window and see we're moving further and further away from civilization. The city lights are fading, replaced by shadows and darkness. I try to discreetly pull the door handle, but it's locked. Of course, it is. Relax, Sarah. Everything will be okay, I tell myself mentally, trying to calm my nerves. My mind is racing, looking for a solution. Maybe if I can distract him, I can find a way to escape. Mike, can we turn around? I think you're really lost, I say, trying to sound firm. He doesn't respond immediately. The silence drags on, and for a moment, I think he's going to ignore me. Are you that scared? He finally asks, without looking at me. His voice is cold, emotionless. Panic settles deeper. I try not to show my fear, but it's useless. Look, I just want to get home. I'm not feeling well, I say, my voice failing slightly. He laughs, a short, humorless sound. You're already home, he replies, and my mind starts screaming in maximum alert. I have to do something. I need to get out of here. The car slows down, and I see a small opportunity. He's preparing to turn onto an even darker, more deserted street. My heart is beating so fast I feel like I might faint, but I can't afford to lose consciousness. I need to be alert, ready to act. Okay, Sarah, breathe. You're going to get out of this, I tell myself. I look at Mike and realize he's distracted for a moment, fiddling with something on the dashboard. It's now or never. With all the strength I can muster, I manually unlock the door and push it open, throwing myself out of the moving car. I hit the asphalt hard, pain exploding through my body, but I can't stop. I need to run. Mike yells something, but the sound is lost in the wind as I run, each step a struggle against the pain. I run into the darkness, my lungs burning, my legs shaking. I hear Mike's car screech to a halt and his quick footsteps behind me. Panic drives me, but my strength is waning. I see a small abandoned building ahead and run towards it, hoping to find some kind of refuge. I burst into the building and slam the door shut behind me, desperately searching for a place to hide. My eyes adjust to the darkness, and I see an old cabinet in the corner. I run to it and squeeze inside, trying to control my breathing. I hear the building's door crash open. Mike is searching for me. His footsteps echo through the empty space, getting closer. I try to remain silent, but my fear makes my heart pound so loudly I'm sure he can hear it. Sarara, Mike's voice sings out, echoing through the empty space. I know you're here. There's no point in hiding. His footsteps get closer and closer. I can see him through the cracks in the cabinet, his shadow moving slowly. He's toying with me, prolonging my terror. Tears stream down my face, but I can't let him find me. Suddenly, he stops. The silence is crushing. I strain to listen, but all I hear is the sound of my own fear. Then, the cabinet door is yanked open, and Mike's flashlight blinds me. He found me. Ah, there you are, he says with a cruel smile, reaching for me. I try to fight, but he's much stronger. He drags me out of the cabinet, and I know my fate is sealed. Please, Mike, let me go, I beg, but he just laughs. You had your chance to leave, Sarah. Now, it's too late. He drags me out of the building, and the horror of my situation becomes unbearable. I try to break free, but it's useless. The cold night air pierces my skin, and the reality that there's no escape hits me hard. Mike shoves me back into the car, and before I can react, he ties my hands and feet with duct tape from the back seat. I'm trapped. He starts the car and begins driving, this time with no pretense of friendliness or conversation. The darkness around us is complete, and despair overtakes me. I try to think of a way to escape, but every movement causes more pain. I watch the city disappear in the rearview mirror, knowing I'm going to a place I'll never return from. The minutes drag on, each one an eternity. Mike finally stops the car in an even more remote location, surrounded by dense trees. He gets out and comes around to my side, opening the door with a smile I'll never forget. "Welcome to your new home," he says, pulling me out of the car. The night is silent, and all I can hear is the sound of my own panic.